Yo, good morning. Getting ready to go out for my run. One thing I felt like it was important to address, and I don't know, I'd be interested to hear what other people's experiences are with this, but overweight kids. Some ways to avoid that. When I think back to how I grew up, I think one of the number one things that did me a disservice was the sit-down supper in the evening and then clean your plate. Go to clean your plate. No, you don't. You would be better off if you accidentally dished up a little too much food to throw it away. Yes, throw the food away or put it out for the animals or whatever. But cleaning your plate is the worst excuse ever to overeat. I mean, which is worse? A little food in the trash or diabetes, joint issues, heart problems, all the massive amounts of issues that can come from making sure you clean your plate every time. I think that food would be better off in the trash. It's going to look better in the trash can, and that trash can will suffer no ills from it, as long as you've got a good trash bag in there. But better in the trash bag than riding around on your middle. Another thing I see people do is the stuff they keep around the house that should be an occasional treat that you have to go out of your way to buy. Cookies, ice cream, and one of the worst, juices and Gatorades. You do not need to keep that stuff in your house. You need to keep it out of your house. Pop also does not need to be in your house. These are things that should be an occasional treat. You get a serving size, you enjoy it, and then you're done. But it's not around all the time. Those things do not need to be around. The super sugary cereals or putting sugar on cereals, no. I mean, cereals on their own aren't that healthy anyway. So it's really better if you're sticking with Wheaties, Special K, Cheerios, even the Honey Nut Cheerios. But the stuff that isn't just basically pieces of coagulated sugar and then put into milk, I mean, it's just the worst thing for you ever. And again, cereals on their own aren't that healthy anyway. So yeah, get rid of the sugary cereals, and you don't need to put sugar on your cereal. Now, oatmeal on its own, that's pretty bland. So, but even there, you might want to consider honey. That's a little more healthy. Also stevia. Stevia is great. Very handy. And you use it in, I believe, the same bulk, 1-to-1 ratio as you would with sugar. So that's also a good way to go. You can get big bags of it cheap at Walmart, no big deal. But what you keep around the house and whether or not you finish meals. Another thing I feel like is a good habit after the kids come home from school is I like to tell them, here, let's have some fruit or some Greek yogurt or something like this. Start filling up on that before you have anything else. And I do let my kids graze, so that way they're more apt to eat when they are actually hungry and not just feed their faces just because it's there. Crackers, I do keep some crackers around just for them, not me. And so there is a little bit of that, but I try to kind of monitor that, keep tabs on it. Pop-Tarts, they can be handy and quick, especially if you're traveling and need to have something in the back so you don't have to run into a quick trip every 2 seconds. But that's a little dicey because they're pretty unhealthy. But anyway, just the stuff you keep around the house and just a few simple habits, I think you'd be amazed at the difference you see in your kids' health. And kids, I mean, even orange juice, I'll keep a little bit around, but that's only because my daughter drinks it in moderation. My boy might have a little bit every now and then, and I do feel like it's good for immunity. But other than that, I mean, you just really do not... kids need to be drinking water. We all need to be drinking more water, not all this other crap. So those are my number one recommendations for ways to have healthier kids and avoid the childhood obesity. Don't keep the crap and the juices around in the house. I don't need Gatorade just because. No juices, no cleaning the plate, no big sit-down meals. That's to be avoided. Let them graze and make them start off the evening after school with something healthy. And I think just those very simple things, you might see a huge difference in how your kids do. So anyways, let me know what you think and let me know of any suggestions you have, because I'd be interested to hear them.